Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, good day to you. That's depending where you are in the world. I'm in London. We're doing the nighttime devotion from the devotional Christ Triumphant. The title today, When God Calls, How Do We Respond? 1 Kings 19 verse 19. So he found Elisha, the son of Shaphat, who was plowing with 12 yoke of oxen before him. And Elijah passed by him and cast his mantle upon him. When Elijah saw Elisha in the field with the servants, plowing with his 12 yoke of oxen, he went to the field of labour, and while passing by, he unfastened his mantle and threw it upon the shoulders of Elisha. During the 3.5 years of barrenness and famine, the family of Shaphat became familiar with the work and mission of Elijah the prophet. The Spirit of God impressed the heart of Elisha in regard to the meaning of this action. This was his signal that God had called him to be the successor of Elijah. It was similar to the commission of Christ to do the young ruler to leave all, houses, lands, friends, riches, comforts, ease, and come and follow me. Elijah passed on as if that were the end of the matter. But he knew that Elisha had understood the significance of the action, and he left him, without speaking a word, to decide whether he would accept the call or reject it. Elisha hastened after the prophet and, overtaking him, asked permission to take leave of his parents and bid farewell to his family. The answer of Elijah was, "Go back again, for what have I done unto thee?" This was not a repulse, but a test, a trial. If his heart clung to his home and its advantages, he was at liberty to remain there. But Elisha was prepared to hear the call of God. He had not been disorderly, running before the call had come. And when he was called, he revealed that he would not hesitate, nor relent, nor draw back. Had Elisha asked Elijah what was expected of him, what would be his work, he would have answered, "God knows. He will make it known to you. If you wait upon the Lord, he will answer your every question. You may come with me if you have evidence that God has called you. If not, forbear. Come not simply because I called you. Know for yourself that God stands back of me and that it is his voice you hear. If you can count everything but dross that you may win the favor of God, come." Let all bear in mind that the Lord will not accept half-hearted service. Those who love to do the will of God can do perfect service. If we follow on to know the Lord willingly, gladly, we shall know that his going forth is prepared as the morning. Elisha immediately left all to commence his ministry. So the title again, When God Calls, How Do We Respond? So this is focusing on Elisha and of course Elijah. And it explains that all Elijah did was take off his mantle, which we would perceive to be as like a cloak or a shawl or a form of clothing. He just took it off, passed Elisha in the field, and as he passed him, he flung it over his shoulders. And that was it. Not a word was spoken. But as we've been told, Elisha and his whole family were familiar with Elijah as the prophet of God. They knew of him, they knew his work. And so Elisha, I would say by the grace of God, knew the relevance of what Elijah had just done. And he knew he had been called by God, but he also knew he would have to leave his family. So being a responsible person, he said to Elijah, can I go back and just at least say goodbye to my parents and my family? But Elijah basically said, that's up to you. What is more important to you? Following God or being with your family? Or in this world, so to speak. And as we are told at the end, Elisha immediately left all to commence his ministry. If you have read and you know the story of Jeremiah, you would know how lonely a road it is to walk as a prophet of God, because you cannot necessarily have family to look after or worry about, because you are doing God's work. And if you choose to do the work of God, then God calls on you and you have to step out and do that work at the calling. You don't have time to pack and do this and do that. You just have to go, as he did with Abraham. God said to Abraham, go here, take your family and go here. Abraham packed and went. But he didn't go just to visit. He had to pack everything and just go. Left his father and all them, and he just took his wife, his nephew, and they just went and left and went to where God wanted them to be. With Jeremiah, God said, you are not to have a wife. I want you solely to come and do my work. And Jeremiah just had to do that. As we see here, the same with Elijah, Elisha. Both of them were unconnected, unrelated to anyone, so to speak, because they were solely to do the work of God. It is a lonely road if you value having people around you. But then if you value the work of God, as we all should do, you would know that those people would be looking to God if they need a form of relationship. You should be keeping focused on God as your relationship and letting Him show you and direct you where and what it is He wants you to do. When God calls you, how will you respond?